Nowadays, thankfully, anime has become much more popular. Back in the day, it was already really fun to play a Dragon Ball game, but today there are games that launched first, became a huge success, and only later ended up getting an anime, which is honestly amazing. So let's talk about the best anime games on the Play Store. Just drop a like and come with me. This is one of those very unknown games based on a very unknown anime as well, but to be honest, I got completely addicted to it. Now let's talk about YOHANE the PARHELIon. YOHANE enters a mirror world called Reverse Numazu. There, she must defeat shadow versions of her own friends along with some NPCs in order to return to her world together with them. Here, the focus is on strategy. YOHANE uses magical cards to fight against dark versions of her friends. It's a card-based RPG with incredible replayability because it adds roguelike elements that make the experience even better. The anime itself is a mix of slice of life and magical adventure, which is why the game never became extremely popular. Unlike ARKNIGHTS, which is a mobile gacha, the YOHANE games are offline experiences sold as premium paid games but with insane replayability. Solo Leveling is one of the most famous anime of 2025 and very likely of 2026 as well. The success is so massive that at least 3 games have already been released and one of them is on Android. Let's talk about Solo Leveling Arise. Just like the anime, it's fast-paced with insane battles, and the game is no different. The main focus here is progression. You start with Sung Jinwoo in a weak state, and as you level up, you unlock the same abilities seen in the anime. However, the game gives you many more character options, including some that haven't even appeared in the anime yet. Many of the game's cutscenes are high-quality animations that recreate iconic moments from the anime, sometimes showing angles and details the anime couldn't include due to time constraints. And if you think about the anime's core idea, it's basically already a game. Entering dungeons with other people, collecting loot and evolving your character, that formula works extremely well on Android, and that's exactly why this game fits the franchise so perfectly. Unlike games that are just a sequence of fights, Isekai Memories splits your time between the battlefield and city planning, and now let's talk about this game. You can freely walk around the 3D city you're building. You decide where to place the goblins' houses, the dwarves' forges, and the laboratories. As the city grows, you earn more resources and buffs for your characters, putting much more focus on construction than on simply retelling the anime. The battles are turn-based, based on selecting matching colored orbs to create combos. It's a strategic system that requires you to predict enemy moves in order to charge your special gauge. The game also introduces an exclusive storyline supervised by the author of the light novel. In it, Shinsha appears a girl who claims to be the daughter of Rimuru along with a mysterious witch named Isis. This is the only MMORPG on this list and also one of the very few MMORPGs based on an anime. Now let's talk about SAO Integral Factor. Unlike other games where you control Kirito, here you create your own avatar. You are one of the 10,000 players trapped in Aincrad. The game is structured exactly like the anime. You must complete quests on each floor, face the floor boss, Labyrinth, and unlock access to the next level of Aincrad. Just like Solo Leveling Arise, the game captures the full essence of the anime where characters are trapped inside an MMORPG and puts you directly in the role of a character, but in this case, your own character, also trapped inside the game. Of course, the game follows an alternative timeline where your presence changes the canonical events. You can alter the fate of certain characters and take full control as the protagonist of the story. Saint Seiya EX is the newest major mobile release from the Knights of the Zodiac franchise, and now let's talk about it. Unlike other titles we mentioned here that focus on turn-based RPG or action RPG, Saint Seiya EX leans much more into gacha mechanics and visual fidelity. The game uses high-quality 3D models that aim to replicate the modern look of the movies and remakes, complete with flashy special attack animations. One big difference is that you can freely walk with your character through iconic sanctuary locations in full 3D, interacting with NPCs and other players along the way. Because the game holds the official license from Toei Animation, it can include elements that many other games can't, such as the main story itself and even the original character voices. While many Knights of the Zodiac games focus mainly on the manga, Saint Seiya EX fully embraces the nostalgia of the anime that aired on TV for so many of us, and that's easily its strongest point. Unlike everything else on our list, now let's talk about a very unknown anime and an even more unknown game. Let's talk about RWBY. control the 4 members of Team RWBY who are basically the main characters of the anime, and you can switch between them at any time with a single button. Each character has a unique ability required to progress through the map. For example, one character can create a shadow to activate buttons from a distance. I did some research on the story and found out that it takes place during Volume 7 of RWBY. It fills in the gaps from the moment the girls become licensed huntresses in Atlas. The game also features around 7 minutes of brand new animated cutscenes made by the anime's own production team, which really makes it feel like you're playing through a special episode of the series rather than just a game. One Punch Man. World is about experiencing what it's like to live in a world where being a hero is a real and dangerous profession, different from how the anime usually presents it, and now let's talk about it. Unlike the franchise's traditional fighting games, One Punch Man World is an open-world action RPG. You can freely walk through iconic cities, visit arcades, convenience stores, and even take care of mundane daily tasks. The game tries to simulate the ordinary life of a hero in between monster invasions. Combat happens in real time and is surprisingly engaging. Since Saitama is invincible, the game solves this by letting you play as him only in dream scenarios or limited versions. The main focus is placed on the other heroes who actually face the risk of death. This game was designed to be an interactive extension of the first season of the One Punch Man, and honestly I'm not sure if they plan to add content beyond that. There are 4 One Piece games on the Play Store, but this one is without a doubt the best of them all. Now let's talk about One Piece Bounty Rush. It's not a traditional fighting game nor a turn-based RPG. Instead, it's a 4 vs 4 action MOBA focused on territory capture. It's the game that best translates the idea of the treasure race that defines the work of Eiichiro Oda. 2 teams of 4 players fight to control 5 flags, treasures across the map. The team with the most flags when time runs out wins, which creates insanely tense moments, especially in the final 10 seconds of a match. The combat is real time, but it's much more focused on strategy than pure action. The game is also famous for keeping up with the anime in real time, often releasing characters at the peak of their popularity on TV, just like when Luffy transformed into Gear 5, for example. I think it took way too long for us to finally get an offline Naruto fighting game on the Play Store, but in 2024 Bandai Namco finally delivered, and now let's talk about it. The game is a premium paid experience and fully offline, which already sets it apart from most Naruto mobile games that are filled with microtransactions and energy systems. It features the ultimate mission mode, where you can freely run around the Hidden Leaf Village, jump across rooftops, and relive the classic era of the anime when Naruto was still a kid. The game includes 25 playable characters from Naruto's classic era, and the visuals have been remastered to a level that honestly feels console quality, which is really impressive. That said, it's important to remember that this is originally a 2008 game, so it's definitely old. On top of that, there's no online multiplayer, you only fight against the AI, and there's no official controller support, meaning you're forced to play using touch controls. Lord of Nazarick is the most recent official turn-based RPG based on the Overlord franchise. I personally don't know it that well, but it seems like fans of the anime really enjoy it, so let's talk about it. Released globally in partnership with Crunchyroll Games, the game's biggest highlight is its fully 3D character models, all taken directly from the anime. In many cases, characters even perform special attacks that look better than in the anime itself, which is the game's main selling point. Unlike many mobile games that are just menu-based, here you can explore iconic environments from the anime, interact with NPCs, and discover hidden secrets. The story mode retells the events of the anime, starting from the arrival of Nazarick in the new world. It's a great way to rewatch the series in an interactive format, while also offering plenty of online features such as gacha systems and other multiplayer focused options. Usually anime takes a while before getting its own game, but in this case it almost feels like they launched together. Now let's talk about Kaiju no 8 the game. You build teams of 4 characters, and the big difference here is the duel system. The position where you place your heroes in the menu determines who will perform automatic combo attacks during battle. Characters are divided into attackers, supports, and defenders. Combat requires you to break the Kaiju's core in order to deal massive damage, adding an extra layer of strategy to every fight. After doing some research, I found out that the game doesn't just follow the anime, it was actually developed in parallel with the production of the second season of Kaiju number 8, which guarantees an absurd level of fidelity. The story takes place during the events of season 2 of the anime, and that probably explains why this game came out so fast. Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade is, so far, the most successful adaptation of the anime because it genuinely feels like an extra season of the show.
行くわよ。
Now let's talk about this game. You build a team of 4 sorcerers and the core mechanic revolves around cursed energy. You must decide when to save energy and when to unleash a maximum technique. Instead of equipping only gear, you equip memories, iconic scenes from the anime which grant passive buffs and active abilities to your characters. But the game's strongest point is that it doesn't just repeat the story, it expands it. The game features an exclusive original storyline set in Fukuoka. This story is considered semi-canon and was written under supervision, introducing new characters that don't appear in the manga. One really cool mechanic is how Satoru Gojo works. He is absurdly stronger than every other character, but he can only stay in battle for 5 turns before leaving because he has something more important to do. Dragon Ball GEKISHIN SQUADRA is a free-to-play online multiplayer game that a lot of people found strange when it first launched, but it feels like it's really taking off. Let's talk about it now. It's the first team-based competitive title in the franchise focused on real-time 4 versus 4 battles. There's no traditional anime story here. Instead, 2 teams face each other in arenas with tactical objectives and fast-paced combat. Unlike many other games from the franchise that try to recreate the anime story, this one focuses purely on combat. That said, it's not a traditional fighting game, but rather a team battle game with strategic elements and intense action. Each fighter has a strategic role on the battlefield, such as damage dealer, tank, or technician. And of course, the roster includes dozens of classic and iconic characters from the series like Goku and many others. Honestly, I think the gameplay feels a bit different, but maybe it's just a matter of getting used to it. Bleach. Soul Resonance is the most anticipated title for late 2025 and now it's finally here, so let's talk about it. Unlike Bleach Brave Souls, which focuses on small chibi-style characters, Soul Resonance is a next-generation action RPG. The core focus is 3D sword combat. The gameplay is extremely fluid, built around aerial combos, perfect dodges, and the impact of blades clashing in real time. The game uses a cell shading technique that tries to replicate the modern anime art style, completely ignoring the old early 2000s Bleach look. And the timing isn't accidental. The game clearly takes advantage of the hype surrounding the anime's return with Bleach 1000-Year Blood War. Even though there are large enemy hordes, the true heart of the game lies in its boss duels. Fights against the captains of the Gotei 13 are designed to be tests of reflexes and rhythm, demanding precision rather than brute force. ARKNIGHTS is one of the richest franchises when it comes to world building, and it's literally the first mobile game to become so successful that it received an anime adaptation shortly after. Let's talk about it. Released in 2019 by Hypergriff, the game is a tower defense with strong RPG elements. You take on the role of an amnesiac strategist rescued from cryogenic sleep, becoming the tactical mind behind Rhodes Island. The game's focus is full tower defense, featuring a huge variety of different characters and roles. Both the story and the gameplay are still evolving over time, but it's already clear that this is one of the most respected tower defense games on the Play Store. I don't know exactly where you're watching this video from, but the game is far more popular in Asia than anywhere else in the world. Even so, it's definitely a game that will go down in history, especially with ARKNIGHTS Enfield set to release later this year. And those were the best anime games on the Play Store right now. Leave a like to support the channel, subscribe, and see you in the next video.